So, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's 3 minutes past 9. It's Monday night. That means only one thing. It's the Ats on This TV weekly, I was almost going to say Facebook Live broadcast, but I've got to stop saying that because it goes out everywhere. It goes out on LinkedIn, it goes out on Twitter, we're on Facebook, it's going out on YouTube on the recording, it's going out on Spotify and iTunes on the audio-only recording. So wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening, thank you so much for being here. Got loads to discuss tonight. Just seeing some people in the chat talking about self-tapes or auditioning and that sort of stuff. Josh says he's getting some new headshots done. Oh, he had some new headshots done today and signed with a new agent. People in the Ats on This community are crushing it. That's what it's all about. But yeah, Andrew's making a pilot for a web series as well, she says. Everybody's smashing it. Don't compare yourself, though, if you're not, right? I'm still not smashing it, right? But until today, I was just saying before we went live, I've taped for quite a few good projects recently, and as if I just couldn't book a job for Save Me Life, basically. And I was doing, honestly, you know when you do good work, don't you? Lorraine, good evening. You know when you do good auditions. Because you just know. Ultimately, you just know, don't you? You walk out there or you send your tape off and you're like, yes, I've done myself justice. And I had a really challenging audition, a self-tape, that ended up going to a Zoom recall just a couple of weeks ago for it would have been a definite breakthrough role in my career, playing a character similar to me but very different in a way as well. And I left it all on the table. I could not have done any more. And I'm like, I feel like I've done myself justice. Didn't get it. and you're like, shit, I put all this preparation in and I've literally bared my soul on Zoom to these people and still it's not enough. And that is just the game. That is life. That is the game. If you can't handle that, don't be in this game. It is unfortunate that we have to sort of put up with that, but the industry will punch you in the face, and you've just got to learn from that. You've got to roll with it, and you just got to realise that, you've got a lot of time on the clock. I don't care how old anybody is on this broadcast, even if you are in your 90s. I'm telling you, you're getting to at least 100, and you're getting a job before you get there. So plenty of time left on the clock. You just got to be patient. And I am a real believer in that whole cliched stuff that people always say just to make you feel better. But really, I'm a believer in what really is meant for you in this industry won't pass you by. There will be a role that will come along at some point if you stay in the game long enough, and you also work hard. You can't just wait and do nothing. You've got to couple patience with hard work. Be patient on the macro scale of things. This is a forever game. You could be, what am I now? 16 years in after drama school? I can't believe I'm going to be 40 next year. It's ridiculous. Still nowhere near where I want to be. I feel like I'm only just freaking starting. I feel that the Ats on This community, even though that's been going for 12 years, I feel that this is only just starting. Even though we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger guests on. I had Stephen Graham on the site last week. I'm going to talk about that in a minute because I'm giving that feature away for free, even if you're not a member of atsonthis.tv. But it is a forever game, and we're constantly learning, we're constantly improving, we're constantly evolving. Sometimes you have to step back and just sort of rejuvenate, have a little bit of time out. Then you can come back stronger. But just hang in there if you think things are not popping for you right now. They might do. I submitted a self-tape for something, a BBC drama, on the 24th of May. As I record this, it's the 21st of June. I had wholly, absolutely forgotten about it, written it off, gone, nah, definitely haven't got that. Even though, again, I feel I did myself justice. I was happy with the tape. Shout out to Petch, who helped me film it. And I just got an email today. I haven't got the job yet, but the casting director was like, Ross is one of our favourites. The availability of the dates of the shoot have changed. Is he still available for these dates? I am available, thankfully, by one day, actually. So I'm hoping that something does indeed come of that, and maybe that is, that's a part that I do book. Finally, after feeling like everything I'm doing is just sort of like a no. It looks like hopefully something will be happening there. But that was a month ago. That was the 24th of May. It's now the 21st of June. So a lot of times, you'll get to that 10-day mark and you'll write it off and forget about it. You just never know when these things come back. They might just come back to surprise you. Maya, how you doing? Hope you're well. Sarah, hope you are good as well. I can see these people who are just joining. Franny, how are you? Not seen you in a while. Hope you are good. So tonight, I want to cover a few things. The first thing I want to cover is on your screen right now if you are watching this. If you're not watching it and you're on the audio experience, I have a banner across the bottom of my screen that says free Q&A with Stephen Graham and the cast of Time. It would say the cast and crew of Time if I could fit it on the screen, but I couldn't fit it on the screen, so it just says in the cast of Time. This is a feature that I'm so grateful to Stephen, to his wife Hannah Walters, to Lewis Arnold, the director, Jonathan Harden, he's an actor in Time, so is James Nelson Joyce, Sasha Spark, the editor of Time, and Tom Sherry, who is the head of BBC Drama North and the executive producer of Time for BBC One. One of, without a doubt, the best dramas I've ever seen in my life. A 3-part drama that's already the biggest BBC drama of 2021. If you've not seen it yet, get yourself over to BBC iPlayer and watch this. It's an acting masterclass, a directing masterclass, an editing masterclass. It's just a phenomenally produced piece of TV, and I had all those mentioned people there. I had them on a Zoom call on Friday afternoon to talk about how they made this show, what it was like to be in it, the lessons they learned. Obviously, I wanted to hear from Stephen because he's probably one of the best actors in the world. Legit, innit? I mean, no one can deny that now. Such a lovely guy, though. Hannah's they're all just beautiful people, just lovely, giving, generous, kind people. And normally I would produce these features for actonthis.tv members. If you're not a member, come and join the community. We jump on Zoom every single week with a top actor, director, casting director, writer, producer, agent, etc. It'll set you back £6 a week. It's dirt cheap. Most people charge you at least 20 quid, 25 quid for these sessions. I bring you 7 a month for 24 quid. Because I'm an actor and I know what it's like to be extorted, to be told to pay 55 quid for a workshop where you get 2.5 minutes to do one read of a script and then you're told, yeah, good, nice, next. And you go, right, is that it? Brilliant, great use of 55 quid. I didn't want to do that, so that's why I bring these guests direct to your house. I decided, because this was so valuable, and these were just such brilliant people, that I'm giving this feature away for nothing. If you go to actonthis.tv/time, you will see... Hang on, it'll all go dark for a second. I keep forgetting to set this up before I... hang on, before I do this. There you go. There you go. You'll see this page, actonthis.tv/time. You will see this page here. Just making sure you guys are seeing that. I'm just going to tune into Facebook myself. But I'm sure you are. You should be anyway. Let me know that I am indeed sharing that. It should be coming through loud and clear, I hope. Is it? Yes, there you go. I can see it on Facebook myself now. You will see this page here, Doing Time with the cast and crew of Time, an exclusive Q&A with Stephen Graham, Hannah Walters, Lewis Arnold, and all those other names that I mentioned before. Just phenomenal people. You'll see the video there. This is 2.5 hours long, right? It's a big ask for you to watch, but I think you'd be daft not to. I think you'd be absolutely crazy not to watch this. Obviously won't play it now, but this is all of us, and it's really relaxed chat as well. People jump in and out, Tom has to leave for a bit, Stephen comes in halfway through, but this is a real sort of insight into just how TV works and how ultimately working at the top of the game works. What Lewis is like to work on set, auditioning, the casting process, these actors' processes of getting into character, Stephen's process that I won't spoil for you, because there's some really fascinating things that Stephen does with characters that I've never heard people do before. There's one thing in particular that he chooses to do with every single character that he plays. Again, I'm not going to spoil it. Go and watch the video. If you don't want to watch, you can also listen to the audio. There's an audio player underneath the feature there. You can just press play whilst you're walking the dog, you're out in the gym, whatever you are doing. But go over and get access to this. It's not going to be up forever. If you're a member of actonthis.tv, it will be. It's actually in your members area right now. If you go to inside your members area, guys, you will find it here as well in the latest 5 features section. But it is available for everybody for free for a limited time at actonthis.tv/time. Don't pass me up on the offer. Go and listen to it and let me know what you think. What did people think of it who've listened already? Let me see in the chat if anybody's talking about anything. Ollie, I know you've seen it. Josh, I know you've seen it. Watched all of it. It was insane. Loved it, says Josh. Gonna watch it tomorrow, says Emily. Yes, love being a member. James, you know what I mean? bringing you the best people all of the time. I'm going to talk you through some guests that are coming up for members as well for the rest of this month. So that was the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The second thing is something that I did last month. I've done this once before, but I've had loads of people tell me that they missed this and that they, how can they get access to it? And truth is, they can't. I'm going to do it again, though. This is a free training that I put on last month for any actor who is looking for their first TV job. Okay, this is a training that I took people through last month, and then I actually opened up registration to an incredible event that I'm hosting in August on the 14th and 15th of August, a 2-day event over the Saturday and the Sunday that basically takes you through now a proven course that I created last year and tested on a small group of actors, helping you get your first TV role. I basically go through a process that I have used time and time again, including this role that I may, fingers crossed, have just landed in this BBC drama. I created a 2-day program. It's full of incredible special guests, directors from TV. We've got casting directors. Some of the best actors, BAFTA-nominated actors, are going to get involved in the main event. But if you want to get a free training where I go over kind of what we're going to cover, I give loads of value on this, and also you'll find out more about the event. If you go over to actonthis.tv/training, you can get a free place. You'll get a Zoom link sent to you literally straight away. And I'm going to be doing this on Saturday, the 3rd of July. It probably will be the last time I can do this before this event. So the event is a paid-for, ticketed event. If you want to find out about that, actonthis.tv/first role. actonthis.tv/first role, and that's FIRST. That's the word first role. But if you want to come on this free training, actonthis.tv/training. So if you've got those 2 web addresses, we've given out 3 web addresses already tonight. I know it's going to be confusing for people, but the 3 you need are actonthis.tv/time for the Stephen Graham and the cast and crew of Time interview. For the free training, actonthis.tv/training. And then if you want to come to the paid event, the 2-day massive event in August, actonthis.tv/first role. The word first, not one ST, but FIRST role. Go and read all about it. So that's me giving out all of my housekeeping and all of my web addresses for tonight. If anybody needs clarity, let me know in the chat if you're here live, and I will tell you again. But I'm going to do that training for the probably the second and last time this year. Chris has got to go. He says he went to 53.2 on the way home, though. Chris, I'm going to be talking about 53.2 right now. What a perfect segue for this next section of tonight's broadcast. So yeah, hopefully everybody is up to speed so far. You all know what is going on. Right, next up on the agenda, what have I got? Let's go through a few of the highlights of last week's member-only mastermind that we did on Zoom for members of actonthis.tv with Simon Naylor and Alex Maxwell from 53.2 Manchester. Okay, now if you're not in Manchester, don't switch off, because you don't have to be to get involved in this incredible theatre space, performance space, creative space, bar, event space, just actors platform basically in Manchester that has just reopened in a brand new venue. Let me know in the chat if you've heard of 53.2 before. Let me know in the chat if you've been to this new venue. But this is ultimately an organisation, a platform. It's a charity actually. That you really want to get involved with. Jill says she so wished she lived in Manchester. Jill, don't worry, you can still get involved in 53.2, and I'm going to play out some videos now for how you can do that. But I had Alex and Simon on last week to talk all about this brand new venture. I've been following it online for many, many months. They took over 2 massive old, I think they're Victorian archways in Manchester. And Josh, he says he's buzzing for his prize. Josh won a prize on this broadcast as well, which is pretty cool. And they had like the biggest task ever to transform these, derelict, really bad derelict arches into what, in my opinion now, is probably it's definitely going to be when they open the big 150-seater theatre there. But definitely one of the most interesting, exciting performance spaces, not just in Manchester, but in the country. Because if you are outside of Manchester and you want to get involved, they will allow you, for instance, to stream your work. Say you had a short film you wanted to stream and you were maybe doing a live, you might be doing a live premiere in London or something like that. If you wanted to stream that film whilst you were premiering it in London, to the big screen at 53.2 in Manchester, and have simultaneously an audience in Manchester. Maybe one of your team is up in Manchester to represent up in Manchester. You might be down in London, repping down in London. And you could simulcast, if that's even a word, simultaneously broadcast that film in London and in Manchester at 53.2 at the same time. Same thing if you were doing maybe live theatre, whatever you're doing, any performance you are doing anywhere. If you want to stream it to 53.2 and arrange them to, sort of host the event for you, obviously you'd have to sell tickets to it and that sort of stuff. It's just a way, if you're savvy and you've got to look at this business as a business, it's a way to just double your income in terms of if you are screening stuff. You might be charging a £5 or a £10 a ticket or whatever to raise funds for the feature of the short that you've done or whatever. Why not host it in London, charge an audience for your tickets there, and at the same time in Manchester as well? Let's just, it just makes sense, doesn't it? So I'm going to play some clips out from in fact, you know what I'm going to do first? What I haven't done, I'm going to play some clips out from 53.2, but I haven't played out the teaser for the chat with Stephen Graham and everybody from Time. I've just noticed I had that lined up and I forgot about it. Here's 2 minutes of what is included in the chat with Stephen and the whole cast and crew, and then we'll start playing some 53.2 videos out. But I completely forgot this, and this is a great little trailer. Check it out. Today I am joined by director of this piece, Lewis Arnold, Lewis's right-hand man, editor of Time, Sasha Spark, exec producer Tom Sherry, 2 stars of the show, James Nelson Joyce and Jonathan Harden, and we may even have Stephen Graham and Hannah swinging by as well. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing?
Let's just say right now, this is a spoiler podcast. So
Total
we are
spoiler.
going to talk about things that happen in the show. But for me, this has been the maddest reception. It's bigger than, for me personally, I mean, my phone's still going off with calls, emails, tweets, texts from people that have seen it, that have responded. And I don't think I ever quite expected it to have the reach that it quite has had and the response it's had.
They still back the version that we want to show enough that they are prepared to move the news, and that's a brilliant reflection on what has been delivered from everybody.
I'm not entirely sure I could have delivered something as good as maybe what I feel like I delivered on the day if it hadn't been for Lewis. And he told me not to say this.
And that's something I've started doing recently, is stripping the music, or we both have really, Lewis and I together, is stripping the music out from the weeklies as we do as I do my first editor's cut, and kind of building it back in.
Sean and Stephen made everyone so, just your mate on set. It's not that you forget who they are and you don't respect them. It's the fact that, they embrace you and they pull you in, they want you to do as well as possible, so you never doubt.
Hello, everyone.
We've been sharing your secrets.
Oh yeah, what secrets?
And it was genuinely real, emotive tears of just hurt and
despair. You went straight away.
There's something I need to confess that I don't think we've ever spoke about in all the press on this, and that is that Stephen.
actsonthis.tv/time for that full interview. I love it when Stephen comes in, he goes, hello, and Lewis goes, we're sharing all your secrets, and look at his face, he goes, oh yeah, what secrets? It's but we share a lot of Stephen Graham's secrets in that chat. So yeah, I should have played that out before, but actsonthis.tv/time, literally for the full 2.5 hour chat for free, if you go there after this broadcast and over the next, I'll leave it up for a week or something like that, which is cool. Now back to 53.2. Okay, Caitlin's look, 53.2 sounds incredible. The first venue that suits my needs as well as the needs of many others. In the disabled community, yeah, I'm going to play a video out for that as well. Again, it's so accessible. It's just theatre for all, for everybody, which is amazing. But I'm going to play this first clip, which shows you some pictures of the state of these archways when Alex and Simon took them over in Manchester, and now what they have turned them into, this beautiful bar and studio theatre space, and soon to have the big archway, the big 150-seater theatre done. And this is 2 lessons that they learned from taking on this project, and that's why I've chosen this clip, because I think we as actors, we can just apply. In fact, you know what, Sak even being an actor, you just apply these lessons to your freaking life. Like whenever you are taking on a big task or something that's scary or an ambition that's lofty, you're out of your comfort zone, you're in your stretch zone, and maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. I regularly feel overwhelmed, if I'm completely honest, with the amount of work that I take on. But here are two big lessons that these guys learned from literally building a theatre. Okay, check it out. You said you've winged it, and of course we all wing it a little bit, but you must have learned some big things, so now you no longer have to wing stuff. What has been the biggest takeaway for each of you?
I think is not to let problems stop you. Just overcome them. Just work a way around them. Because, like you say, looking at that space, that's a big problem. And it would have been really easy for us to go, nah, there's too many tires in there. There's a bit of dirt. Do you know what I mean? And in the previous one at Bauermilch, it's too wet. We'll never make it work. Just, I guess I'm quite reactionary in terms of when a problem arrives, I deal with it. And I think if you can look at everything you do like that, or as much as you can do like that, there's a problem, let's fix it, let's crack on. And not stressing and going, God, it's too big, we'll never get it done. No, just stop, take stock, and deal with that problem and move forward. And I feel like you get a lot more done with positivity and problem solving than you will do like spending time worrying about the problem as opposed to getting it fixed.
We've had so much help, and it's okay to ask for help in terms of in any sort of situation really, and because it would have been quite overwhelming to think about just the two of us doing this, and there was no way that we would have done it, to be honest. And to the point of, yes, we had professionals come in, architects and builders, and of course we needed that this time, but then nearing opening we did call outs for help for people just to come and lend a hand, and it was an amazing response from people just wanting to lend a hand, just to clean, to paint, and we obviously were very aware that it wasn't the most glamorous of things, but so many people wanted to muck in, and we can't tell you how important that was. Yeah. So I think what I've learned is just to, there's no pride. It's not just me and Simon taking credit for anything. It is a whole team of people, and it's okay just to be open about the fact that you need help.
Once again, actsonthis.tv if you want to listen to the full chat. It's just the place to be, innit? Basically, if you're an actor, just go to actsonthis.tv. It'll solve all your problems and change your life, basically. But yeah, I mean, did you see the state of those archways in the first few slides at the start of that video? There's I think it used to be an old garage or something. There was tires everywhere. There was rubble. It was damp, dark, dingy, no electric. I mean, it was an absolute mess. And then you go, right, I have to turn this into a theatre space that everyone's going to want to come to, and everyone's going to want to put a show on, and oh God, is it going to be profitable? How do we even make this happen? How do we raise funds for it? A massively overwhelming task. I build everything in the virtual world, obviously Acts on This, and everything I do is all digital, and even the digital building blocks are very hard. When they are physical, literally bricks and mortar, and you've got to relay floors and sort electrics out and build bars and build theatre spaces and sort acoustics and all of this stuff. I'm that's just an impossible task. But the two lessons there, I broke them down. I've just written down when I was listening to that. First thing, like Simon's talking about, is breaking your problems down and looking for solutions, focusing on the solution, not the problem itself. Okay, and I often get actors when they're sort of struggling with a big task to just literally look for the first staircase, not a case actually, no, not the staircase, the first step on the staircase, and that's literally the only thing that you need to see within that moment. And then you will find, if you have the courage to step onto that step, you take that first step, the next step will illuminate, but it'll only illuminate enough for you to see, the step you're on will illuminate enough for you to see the next step. And until you step onto that, you won't be able to see the next step or the next step. So a lot of people won't start anything in their acting career. They won't even try and get on Spotlight before they can see all 25 steps ahead of them. They won't go to an acting class. They won't Just get involved in anything until almost like they can see the entire route, the entire staircase. They won't start writing a script until they know exactly how they'd shoot it, who the cast are going to be, who the crew's going to be, how they're going to fund it. And there's definitely areas in my life where I do that, without a doubt. And it's because of, the unknown, uncertainty, sort of like, I don't know, that little internal protection officer inside your head going, oh, maybe you're going to lose if you do that. Maybe that'll be a waste of money. Maybe no one will like it. What if you get embarrassed? What if you look stupid? And you just never step onto that first step. So maybe I know there will be. That's the thing, right? I know there's something in your life. This goes for every single person, me included. There is something in all of our lives right now that we are not doing, aiming for, going for, starting, because you don't know exactly how it's all going to work out, how you're going to figure it out. You're overwhelmed, it's too much, and you're holding back, and you're sitting safe thinking, oh yeah, I'll do that at some point. I've done it with a sitcom now. Freaking hell, I don't know. I'm annoyed at myself. Probably 4-5 years. This sitcom, the idea for it, like the almost written episode, and I'm like, something I'm working on. I'm like, why are you not doing it? What I don't understand. It's either two things that, in my experience, that can happen at this point. One, you actually really don't want to do it. That is a thing. You're not passionate enough about it to do it, otherwise you would have done it. And sometimes that is a case where you go, that thing that I set out to do and that goal that I set, actually, it's okay to change my mind. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just not interested. Actors go through this. I did it when I first started out. I'd take any job at all. And then it got to the point where you start booking work, and it's not that, I'm certainly not in a place where I can just go, oh yeah, I'll just be super selective about everything. But I don't want to do commercials anymore. I mean, that's it. I'm just not interested. And that's fine. My goal changed. My goal starting out in my career was to get any work. My goal now is to get certain types of work. So it's fine to change your mind. So if you don't do something, sometimes it's like, actually, it's because it doesn't mean anything to me anymore. On the other side, though, when it does, i.e. this sitcom, it means a freaking lot to me. It's because I'm not making time for it. I'm not making time for it because I know it's a big task and I'm going to be overwhelmed. Straightforward. So we all need at times to break things down into more manageable chunks, manageable tasks. And if there's things that we're doing in our lives that are no longer serving us, we've got to get rid of those things to make room for the new things. And there's definitely things where I'm like, do I need to do that anymore? Should I just, within the business, within Act on this, maybe I should bring another team member on and they can do the edits for this and then that'll free me up some time, and stuff like that. So that was the first lesson Simon talks about there. And the second one from Alex was just showing some vulnerability and asking for help. It might be something in your life, in your acting career, that you really want to do, but you don't quite know how to do it. And you definitely need help. You can't even contemplate stepping onto that first step because you don't know what it is. And that's when you need to reach out to somebody and ask for help. And you will find, in most cases, when you ask for help, if you do it in the right way and you're very nice about it and you offer, some sort of value in return or a real compelling reason why someone should help you, you're not just looking to take from everybody. I think 9 times out of 10, people will say, yeah. If they've got the time to give you, they will say, yeah. I know a lad, Jack, who's just amazing, who wanted to get some time with some of the biggest producers and some of the biggest directors in TV. He wants to produce his own films. He's a bit more of a, sort of like a producer-director as opposed to an actor. And he knew fair well that he could not just message these people, big people, and just go, yeah, I want some time with you. Give me some time. I mean, and don't use that phrase, pick your brains. I hate it. Maybe it's just me. I just think it sounds disgusting. Can I just pick your brain? You have 2 minutes to pick your... Ugh. Can you imagine? Just like taking the top off your head and just picking your brain. Oh, God, I hate it. He created bespoke boxes. They were amazing. He sent me some pictures of it. He's like, mate, do you think these are going to work? And he had someone make them. He didn't do all the work himself, and he had the people's names calligraphied onto it with a message, something very personal, something that they loved. Either he'd stalk them a bit on LinkedIn, he'd find out what football teams he supported, something they were passionate about. Created them a box, not super expensive, about 20 quid a box. They had tissue paper and they just looked fantastic. And in it was a handwritten note, just asking, I think for 5 minutes, or something like that. And he got it. He messaged me the other day, absolutely buzzing. A really, really big producer sent him a message saying, "Hey Jack, just sat down having a Belgian chocolate after today's shoot. He sent him like some hot chocolate in because he knew he liked it. He'd found out on social media somehow, and he was like, I like, when do you want to chat? More than happy to talk, because he hadn't just sent a generic email going, hi, can I just pick your brains? So sometimes you can ask for help in general. We've got an incredible community where people will, if you just ask, will help. I see it happen in the Facebook group all day, every day. People asking for self-tape, like readers and stuff like that, and our community is amazing. Other times, if you're going higher level and you need to, you want to get time with people who just realistically don't have time to give everybody, go the extra mile, make them, give them a compelling reason, to give you help. But it's always good to ask for help from people who have achieved what you want to achieve and ask them how they did it. Tony says, I dislike the phrase, pick my brain too. Pick your brain too. It implies someone wants my time but doesn't have a specific question. I prefer a DM with a question and deciding whether or not we need a call. Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like, sometimes I'll get an email saying, hi, can I just ask you a question? And that's the email. And I'm like, right, well, now I've got a reply saying yes. And then you got to write, you might as well just ask. But yeah, if I just think like people don't want to ask for help. I don't know why. I do know why. I think it's because, it makes you feel like less than or vulnerable, or like you should know the answers to stuff and that kind of thing. But you get things done a lot faster if you go to people who've already achieved what you want to achieve, but you just got to do it in the right way. Ethan, how you doing? And Tony, hope you're good, mate, all the way from Chi-Town. Hope everyone is well. Nick, how you doing, mate? This is wise words as ever. Cheers, Nick. I've just learned from other people, mate. I don't make this stuff up. So they're not necessarily even my words. Next clip I'm going to play is, what am I going to play? Another clip from the 53-2. Oh yeah, this is right. So, is anyone? Let me know in the chat if you've created a project in lockdown. Maybe you've done a short film, you've written something, you might have written a monologue, you might have written some spoken word poetry, you might have shot a short film. It doesn't have to be like, super produced. It could be on your iPhone or whatever. And now you're looking to get eyes on it. This is another way that 53-2 can help you do that. Either go in for a live performance within their theatre space, their studio space, which right now is this beautiful, sort of intimate space, sits between, I think, 60 and 80 audience members, completely accessible, for everyone, completely. The whole venue, I'm going to play a clip out in a minute, is accessible, catering for just every type of person, every disability, everything you could possibly imagine. Fantastic space. But if you have created a project over lockdown that you want to get eyes on, it's just a couple of ways that you can do that. Even if you are not in Manchester, 53-2, just bigging them up big time. They're just amazing. Can help you do that. Just a 2-minute clip here. Tell us a little bit about this and how actors can kind of get involved with this right now, if they've maybe made work over lockdown that they're ready to show or get up on its feet, and what's available to people right now.
So the studio space is, myself and Alex didn't want to be in charge of basically just own a pub. So,
yeah.
As lovely as it is, it's a very nice pub. But we wanted to have a creative space attached to it. And obviously the big house is coming, the big 150-seater will come. But in the meantime, we wanted to have a creative space. So we've got the studio, and it's slightly makeshift. It's as 53-2 do. We see a space and we make it work. But in there, you'll be able to use the big screen to stream perhaps performances. We've got one from Hexham being streamed in, so people can come and watch a stream performance if they are not able to get to the place where it's on. And then, of course, it is a studio theatre with, once the restrictions lift, we reckon we got about 60 or 80 in there, depending on your layout of the stage. So we will be putting shows on. We'll be welcoming new writing festivals and evenings of new writing plays and short plays and things like that. And of course, it's a rehearsal room. It's a gig room. We're going to be putting music on in there. Workshops, R&D, people are booking it for R&Ds at the moment. So it is a really versatile space with the capacity to sort of do and mold itself to whatever you want, which is exactly what we had in the old venue we wanted to carry forward. Even if you filmed something during lockdown and you've got nowhere to screen it, like, well, we can put that on the big screen. You get yourself an audience in. Doesn't matter if it's not a big audience. It can be a cast and crew screening. That's fine. But yeah, it's a space for all to use.
As makeshift as it is, it's actually, if you've been working on anything over lockdown, you've been writing something, and it's a smaller, intimate space. Once the big house is open, that will take up the entire arch where this studio fits at the moment. So actually, it's quite a really lovely time.
It looks gorgeous, though. Look at it.
To do something in a smaller space, because we won't have this forever. So, and some pieces actually suit smaller spaces. So it's the time to get on down and, trial out whatever you've maybe been working on in a more intimate setting.
Josh, actonthis.tv, if you want to watch the full 2-hour chat with Simon and Alex. But yeah, if you have, just looking in the chat here, what people have done. Yeah, so yeah, Kev has shot his film. I think Josh said he did some web series over lockdown. Now working on a short with the same name. Let's have a look at some other people. I'm missing some comments, unfortunately. But yeah, there's a lot of people, it seems, have done web series, have done shorts and that sort of stuff. If you need to screen anything, 53.2 is definitely just a fantastic place to do that. Like I say, even if you're not in Manchester, the Studio Theatre there just looks like a beautiful space, really cool place to hang out, host an event. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic way to distribute whatever you're doing, get more eyes on. Because that's the thing, like, in my own experience, people think the making of the project is the hardest work, and it's not. In my experience, the getting eyes on the work, and once you've completed something, getting people to watch it is by far the hardest work. Let me know if you've had that same experience. It's with film, particularly. Obviously, live performances are maybe a bit different. People, have to go and see those at a particular time. But when you've created a film, or I've created a feature for Acts on This, or I've done a vlog or anything like that. Actually, like, you think the hard work is producing it and editing it and getting it all done, and it is, but it's only at that point does the hard work really begin, which is how the hell do I distribute this to get people to see it so that all of the work I've already put into it is actually worth it? Because we all know what it's like, I'm sure, to shoot something that we put our heart and soul into, put it up on YouTube, get like 13 views, and half of those were just you checking that it worked. Let me know. Maybe it's just me. But I'm better at it nowadays. But yeah, it's tough. So 53.2, because it's such a vibrant space and it's so tapped into the entire acting industry in Manchester and beyond as well. It's just like their network can almost just guarantee an audience on stuff because people just love the place. Sharon says, yeah, definitely my short film is in festivals right now, and getting it accepted is hard with zero budget. Left to get them in the bigger festivals. Yeah, film festivals can be expensive, Sharon. Definitely. And Rob says, absolutely agree. Film one of my spoken word pieces 2 weeks ago. Getting it ready to drop in the right way so people see it is most definitely the hardest part. It's tough, isn't it, Rob? It is difficult. And you get your guts up to put it out there, and you're like, right, I'm throwing my hat in the arena, let's go. And then it's sort of like you hit publish, and you're like, right, I'll post it to my Facebook, I'll put it on Twitter, and it's crickets, literally just like tumbleweed. You're going, shit, how do I actually get people to care? My piece of advice for that, by the way, is to get people involved in something from the very, very start. So you make them feel that, and that whether that's, it doesn't have to be a crowdfunder where people actually pledge money and that sort of stuff. Maybe you're asking for volunteers, you're asking for help, you're asking for time, and you can pay people a little bit of money, or you can, I don't know, give them some kind of perks for being involved in the project. But when you get an audience involved from the beginning, and you take them along on the journey, so maybe you document behind the scenes of something, how stuff's coming together, and particularly your failures and your wins along the way, and you document those, and you're like, right, guys, today we tried to do this, or maybe you just turn the camera on yourself, and maybe you have like an Instagram account for the project, and people can follow it, and they can follow along with what's going on. You turn the camera on yourself, and you do some stories through the day, and you're like, right, I'm just writing this last scene, and completely just got writer's block, don't know what's going on, and just sort of like just be really open and honest with people about the process, so other people who want to do it can share that, and sort of learn from your experience. By the time it's ready to drop, people are like asking you, when can I see it, when can I see it, when can I see it, and they're more inclined to share it. For me, when I've sort of kept everything to myself and then I've just gone, here you go, that's when no one cares, basically, because they've not been invested from the start. So it's difficult, man, but that's what I would do nowadays if I was starting something again. Definitely. And then Sharon says getting loads of people to share it at the same time. Yeah, that's pretty good as well. Yeah, I mean there are ways to kind of game the algorithms on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and that kind of thing. People absolutely have to use the functions built into these platforms that tell the algorithm, hey, this is valuable content people are interested in, share it to more people. And unfortunately, that is. And I hate it, but it is a matter of likes, it is a matter of shares, a matter of retweets or, comments and this sort of stuff. So you do, almost sometimes have to incentivize people to do that, and again, that's getting people to buy in from early on. They're going to want to comment on it and share it and that sort of stuff because they're going to feel a part of it. So that would definitely be that's what I'm going to do. When that's what I try and do now when I try and create stuff, even for acts on this.tv. get people invested from the off. So that was the second clip. The third clip, this is, and I know this isn't for everybody, but it is in a way, because 53.2 is completely accessible. And you might be like, well, I don't need accessibility. You don't live with a disability or anything like that. But we're talking about audiences. The more accessible a venue can be, and the more inclusive you can be across, the entire spectrum of human beings and things that we just all, we all have to deal with, the more eyes on your work, ultimately. So it's within everybody's interest to make your work, to make venues, to make this industry as accessible to everybody, regardless of, literally anything that they are living with that would make it harder to get involved with stuff, So 53.2 have gone out of their way to make this venue accessible for everybody, whether it's a seen disability, an unseen disability, a physical disability, just anything at all. You are pretty much covered at 53.2. Here's just a little clip of how they've made it accessible. And again, how they're going to help bring an audience, such a eclectic mix of people as well, to your show or your film or whatever, your event, if you put it on at 53.2. But yeah, I've never seen people go to this much trouble before. How else have you made this venue completely accessible?
I saw a brilliant meme which sort of summed it all up for me, and it was a caretaker outside a school cleaning the steps so that all the people could walk up the steps. But there was a guy in a wheelchair, or a girl in a wheelchair, I can't remember, waiting for the ramp to be cleared, and the caretaker was saying, I'll clear that once I've got rid of this. And the guy in a wheelchair was saying, well, hang on, if you just clear the ramp, everyone will get in.
Yeah.
And it made me go, oh, Christ, yeah, look, we don't need to do add-ons. The whole venue just needs to be accessible. So then there's not lowered door handles. They're just longer door handles so that everyone can reach them,
Yeah.
So we have a lowered section of the bar. We have tactile keypads for our card readers. We have modular tables, which means that the tables a lot of them are at wheelchair height anyway. But if you've got a bigger party coming, we can literally unhook a table and make more room. Obviously, we've got a disabled toilet in there. I think one of the big things is that all the staff behind the bar will have had a bespoke training in BSL. So we can take your orders over the bar via BSL. We can tell you how much it is via BSL. We've got ear defenders for kids and adults behind the bar in case those neurodiverse or autistic or, they need some time out. So we got those behind the bar. We've tried to think of everything.
When we had our training, BSL training, it wasn't just about learning a language, it was about us raising awareness as well for us as staff. We learned that a lot the deaf community sometimes miss last orders because it's a bell. And it's little things that actually you think, well, they should have as good a time as everyone else and get the last pint in as well. So, of course, we've now switched to doing last orders by light. Obviously, everywhere's accessible, wide enough.
You're not going to be... Even the studio stage is on floor level. So,
Yeah, eventually with the main theatre as well, when that'll all be floor level.
We're going to have a change in places toilet in the dressing rooms there as well, which I believe will be one of very few, if not the only independent theatre to have a change in places toilet.
Boom. And I'll tell you, the attention to detail goes like even beyond that, right? Those people who've been around acts on this a long time will know that I've got a visual impairment. I've got like a dodgy retinal condition, unfortunately, a degenerative retinal condition. And it makes my vision, particularly in dim lighting or, this typical of theatres, typical of bars, restaurants, this sort of stuff, really difficult, like genuinely really difficult. I know it sounds mental because unless you experience this, you'll be like, you just don't know what it's like. But sometimes depending on the lighting in a venue, and the colours of walls and doors, like it makes me it sounds crazy. This just makes going to the loo really difficult. I don't mean going to the loo, I mean finding the loo, right? Really hard because I don't see the contrast sometimes. If the walls are dark and the doors are like walnut or dark coloured, and particularly where signs are not like super obvious and like the sign might be like a dark golden sign on a walnut door and it's like there's no contrast there. I have genuinely either walked into broom cupboards that haven't even been toilets, I pushed the wrong door, the kitchen, the women's, like genuine. And it just makes you not want to go to the loo. You're like, oh, God, I have to wait for one of the lads or something. Like, hey, mate, you go to the toilet? Right, you just show me where they are. Simon texts me and he went, mate, for anyone who's visually impaired, what colour, this is the detail, what colour do you want me to paint the doors of the toilet? And what colour do you want us to paint the walls on that corridor? So you get the contrast. Do you want light walls with really dark doors, or do you want light doors with really dark walls? No one has gone to that trouble before. And it just, honestly, I know it's only a small thing and no one else will even bat an eyelid about it. But just that walk through a bar and going, oh God, am I going to look like an absolute dickhead now? Where I just like, I'm stood there, everyone's looking at me and I'm walking around going, I can't even see the door. Where's the door? And they're like, where's the toilets, mate? Oh, they're over there. And I don't even see them. They are legends. They've made it super, super accessible for everybody. So, just what as a community, also support 532, 532.com, get yourself into the website, see what's going on there, and let's just see. I'm super excited to see what events and what shows, what screenings and stuff they do. And even if you're not in Manchester, like I say, there are many opportunities for you to get involved with 532 remotely from like anywhere. So plenty of opportunity. They really have gone the extra mile, says Jill. Yeah, they have, honestly. Just absolute legends, and it's crazy. Kellyanne's here. All right, Kellyanne, hope you're well. Hope you are good. Not spoke to you for ages. Hope the stateside is all good. Yay for accessibility, says Sam. Absolutely. We've got all the US folk in the house tonight. We had Tony in the house before. We've not got Richard. He's a Brit abroad, though. I don't know where Richard Haler is. Richard, if you're here, drop me a comment on Facebook. So we've got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to start wrapping it up. Let me tell you what is going on for members of actonthis.tv this Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Let me go over to the website. Where are we? Here we are. Don't forget, actonthis.tv/time if you want to go and watch for free this entire 2.5 hour session with Stephen Graham and the cast of Time. But if I go to the homepage, hopefully, here we are, and I click on the live webinar schedule. In 2 days, 21 hours, 39 minutes and 50 seconds as I am live right now. We've got some really freaking good live webinars coming up. These are private Zoom calls just for members of actonthis.tv with some of we do this every week with some of the biggest actors, agents, casting directors, writers, producers and directors in TV, literally the biggest names, sometimes on earth, like genuine, like actors like Stephen Graham, literally, world renowned. He was obviously on this week. But this Thursday, I've been asked a lot by actors who are like, right, I want to get a top London agent. Now, I've only had, in terms of London agents, I don't know, 2 or 3 on in the last few months. So I was like, let's get some more of the London folks on. So I've got one of the top kind of Felix de Wolf, this Wendy Scazzaro from Felix de Wolf this Thursday. Felix de Wolf are kind of like one of the top boutique style agents in London. They're kind of mid-size, I guess. They've got quite a lot of agents working for them. But Wendy's just brilliant. She's just so no nonsense, cut through the shit. Just basically tell it how it is. She's just a brilliant woman and a fantastic agent. Quite a few members of actonthis.tv are signed with Felix de Wolf, and they are working a lot. Rick Carr, I don't know if you know him in our community, is signed with Felix de Wolf. He just played a real nasty guy. He was like a taxi driver, nasty guy who was was he shooting someone, or he had a few episodes of Coronation Street recently. He played Joe Blaine Jr. in Brassic. Beating up Joe Gilgan. What else is he doing? He's doing something else at the moment. Oh, he just did a Netflix drama. I was at the read-through for the last 2 episodes called Stay Close last week. I'm telling you what a freaking drama that is going to be. It's all fully cast now, unfortunately. I was just reading it for people who couldn't make it. But Stay Close, brand new Netflix drama from Danny Brocklehurst and Harlan Coben. Oh my God, so wish I was in it. Rick's in it, but he's with Felix de Wolf. They've got some fantastic clients. Wendy is going to be with us on 7:30 p.m. Thursday night. That's the 24th of June. Do come and join us. If you're not a member of actonthis.tv, get a freaking membership. It'll just literally try it for a month. I swear to God. I just don't know what more I can do to get people in on this. I know most people probably listening and watching tonight are already, premium members of the site, but I just can't I can't tell you how valuable this information is. I implement it all in my own career and do very well. So genuinely come over. The week after, we're following the agent theme. We've got Mildred Yuan coming on from United Agents, obviously one of the big agents They're big top agencies. So we've got like top kind of like boutique and then top massive with United the week after. So that's going to be Tuesday, the 29th of June. And then that's agents done for a little while. I was like, right, let's hit people with 2 sessions with agents. Because now lockdown's lifting, people are like, I want to change agent or I want to sign with a new agent. Okay, let's get that sorted for you. And then this guy is the week after. I'm well looking forward to this. Mr. Johnny Weldon, who you'll know from Twitter, all of his skits on Twitter. One of the funniest guys out there. He parodies a lot of our lives as actors. Let me know if you've seen his stuff on Twitter. We're going to be talking all about viral video and social media, and actually, the results that this guy has got through putting out his own work on social media. Like, his videos have had millions of views, and he didn't start all that long ago. I think I don't know when was it. It's only like a few months, isn't it? Sharon says Johnny is so funny. He is. When did he start, Sharon? I can't remember, but it's not been that long. Kelly says, I've got to join. I'm getting out of focus. Have to get back to training, updating my reels. Kelly, easily done. Get yourself back involved. But yeah, Johnny's going to be talking about, he's just like great when it comes to social media and distributing his work for casting directors and agents, and through putting his work out there. I'm sure he's had loads of opportunities. He's filming something right now. I was speaking to him the other day. Hopefully he'll be able to tell us a little bit about that. And I reckon a lot of it will have come from the awareness that he's got from putting his stuff out on social media. So that's the rest of the sessions for this month. Felix de Wolf, United Agents, and Johnny Weldon. Next month, July, I'm not going to spoil any surprises just yet, but let me just say you're going to want to be involved in the community. So do come and get involved at actsonthis.tv. If you want to just check out a session for free while this is up right now, actsonthis.tv/time, go and check out that session. I mean, what a freaking session. With Stephen Graham, Hannah Walters, Lewis Arnold, one of the best directors we have in the UK, without a doubt. Everything that guy directs literally gets the biggest viewing figures. Just like sets records. I mean, like every single time. I don't know when it's going to stop. I think the pressure is on him to the point where he's like, I don't really know what much more I can do. But Lewis is absolutely fantastic. Leslie says, really excited for agents, sorting out new headshots, and have given myself September to sort my flagging career out. Leslie, come on, let's go. Easy peasy. Everyone's career is flagged a little bit, Leslie. Be kind to yourself. Like, as I say, at the start of this broadcast, I was like, when am I going to freaking book a job? Because I was just saying at the start of this, Leslie, I don't know if you were here, but I'm like, I've taped for a lot of stuff recently and not booked any of it. And I mean, I've done, in my opinion, really good jobs, really good freaking jobs of this stuff. Nothing. And it was only today, a self-tape that I did a month ago. Fingers crossed for a BBC drama. Looks like I'm down as apparently one of the favourites, and they want to check my availability. It might not go my way still, in which case, hey ho, that's the industry. But hopefully it will. And it just takes that, that persistence and that perseverance and that, right, come on, let's just keep going. Sometimes you've got to just literally drag yourself through the shit an inch at a time. But as long as you are moving forward, you might literally be climbing out of the depths of hell by your fingernails. But as long as you are, moving forward inch by inch, I promise you, just stay in there. You will get there. Kelly says, prayers up, Ross. Yes, pray for Ross, Kelly. I need it. He's like, no, it's all good. Honestly, that's the thing in this industry. We know what we're getting into, don't we? When we come into it, we're coming into this industry with our eyes open, and you need to realize that, I don't know what the odds are in terms of, average statistics on number of auditions to booking jobs, but it's not like the real world where you generally have. What's the average? I think on average, people who work like normal jobs and they're not crazy like us, I think the average is like you have 3 job interviews in your life. Like when you leave, like when you graduate, you leave uni or whatever you do. Most people literally like stay in 2 or 3 jobs, and that's their entire career done. They might be in a job for 12 years, the next job for 10 years, the next job for 15 years, retire, done. I don't know, we're just gluttons for punishment. It's like we want, that's the crazy thing, isn't it? We like pray and hope for multiple job interviews every week. It's crazy. It's freaking mental. Yeah, can I just put my hand up and have a load more stress, please? Yeah, why don't you send me that script the night before and give me 7 pages to learn, and I'll get it in for you at 12 o'clock tomorrow, no problem at all. We're freaking insane. I don't even know whose idea it was. Don't know whose idea it was to do this, but that's what we're up for. So you've got to kind of just take the rough with the smooth, haven't you? Who needs reality, says Michaela. Exactly. We're so blessed, really, says Kelly. No, we are, to be able to choose. That's the thing, you know what? There are countries in this world still today, in a 2021 world, where you are not allowed to choose what you do for a living. You don't have the opportunity that we have, and sometimes like we can catch ourselves complaining about dumb shit. When really it's like, look, there are people who walked 6 miles today genuinely to get drinking water, and we just walk 3 feet to our tap, turn it on, and it's perfectly clear and will not kill us. So we do have to just get some perspective sometimes and go, why am I sad? Why am I sad? Because I'm focusing on all of the wrong stuff. I'm focusing on all of the extrinsic bullshit and the Instagram posts and everything that actually really is just not even based on reality. It's just, this unreachable sort of fake world that people push to you via these social media platforms. What Instagram does is it goes, right, I tell you what I'm going to do, basically, I'm going to get all of the people who were just genetically won the lottery, who just look beautiful, and we're going to make an algorithm that rewards these people to post pictures of themselves that are filtered and face-tuned to make themselves look even more unobtainably good-looking. They'll maybe hire or stand next to a car that they don't even own, or they'll throw some money on a bed, or they'll wear a watch or whatever, and they'll take a picture graph, and we'll reward them for that as well. And everyone will start liking it, and the algorithm will start spreading it further and further and further and further. And before you know it, like, it just makes 98% of people feel like they're not enough and they're not good enough. Please just remember that all of this is fake. It is not real. I've seen people. One night I was in a bar, and it really summed it up for me. There was a guy who, honest to God, looked miserable as hell on his own. Now, I don't know if he was waiting for people at a bar or he'd lost his friends or whatever. They might have gone to get the drinks or something like that. But he looked, really bored, really sad, very miserable. I saw him, no word of a lie. Me and my mate Sean watched him. He pulled his phone out of his pocket. He opened up Snapchat or Instagram, whatever one it was at the time. He obviously was creating like a 15-second story. He held the phone up, like in front of him. The band was playing behind him. He hit record, started smiling and jumping up and down, like bobbing his head around, like going, yeah. 15 seconds was up, like his story was done. Put the phone down, wrote a couple of things on it, posted it, put it back in his pocket, leant up against the pole like that. I thought, fucking hell. All of his friends are going to be at home with the FOMO, the fear of missing out. That, oh my God, Dave's in this bar. He looks like he's having an amazing time. Why is my life so boring? Dave just wanted to go home. He didn't want to be there. He looked suicidal. Please do not fall for the bullshit. It's absolutely not real. And do not, when you see people posting about self-tapes and posting about jobs that they've booked and all this sort of stuff, and even me, like I said tonight, talking, I've got booked this job. I'll tell you about the 9 tapes that I did before this that I put my heart and soul into and didn't get a single one. Or I'll tell you about the times where I didn't even get a tape. And I didn't, and the weeks you can go sometimes with no auditions whatsoever. Like, it's not. It's just not a good representation of the way people really are living on social media. So take it with a pinch of salt, and just I think we all just need to try and be as authentic as possible, don't we? Really. Jill shouting, Dave, absolutely. Who knows who he was, Jill? But he was not happy. He was not happy whatsoever. Right, it is 1 minute past 10. Thank you so much. It goes fast on it these hours. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone who's watching live. If you are listening on the replay, or you're watching on YouTube, or you're watching on the replay on Facebook or whatever, thank you so much for doing that, spending this time with me. Time is I was talking about time because we not reviewed, but we had everybody on from the drama Time. And I thought, time really is, it's cliched again, but it is the most important thing. Time is the only thing that you can't really ever get back, and it's non-refundable. So this hour you have spent with me tonight, I appreciate. That's non-refundable. You're not getting that back. So it does mean the world because you don't have an infinite amount of it. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will be live, like I say, for members of ActsOnThis.tv Thursday night with Wendy Scazzaro from Felix de Wolf, one of London's top agencies. If you're looking for a new agent, get yourself down for that. We've got Mildred from United Agents the week after. Like I said, we've got Johnny Weldon the week after that. Great lineup of guests this month. And then go to ActsOnThis.tv/time for that full 2 hour 2 hour 30 minutes, 2.5 hour chat about what so far is the BBC's biggest drama of 2021 with the cast and the crew, including Stephen Graham, Lewis Arnold, Hannah Walters, James Nelson Joyce, Jonathan Harden, Sasha Spark, and also head of BBC Drama for the North, Mr. Tom Sherry. What a legend he is. Really, really nice bloke. I will play the trailer out one more time for you guys now, and then go to ActsOnThis.tv/time. If you want to watch it. Everyone's talking about Instagram in the chat. I'm glad we all agree. Honestly, we all agree that social media can be a load of BS at times. And Sharon says, thanks. Time is valuable for us all. Use it wisely. Certainly bloody is, folks. I think you get 84,000 seconds every single day. Make sure you make as many as you can of them. It's impossible to make them all count, innit? But make as many as you freaking can. For the rest of today and tomorrow count. And here is this teaser for Time. I'll catch up with you all soon. Thanks again. Lots of love. Until next time, bye for now. Today I am joined by director of this piece, Lewis Arnold, Lewis's right-hand man, editor of Time, Sasha Spark, exec producer Tom Sherry, 2 stars of the show, James Nelson Joyce and Jonathan Harden, and we may even have Stephen Graham and Hannah swinging by as well. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing?
Let's just say right now, this is a spoiler podcast. So
Total
we are
spoiler.
going to talk about things that happen in the show. But for me, this has been the maddest reception. It's bigger than, for me personally, I mean, my phone's still going off with calls, emails, tweets, texts from people that have seen it, that have responded. And I don't think I ever quite expected it to have the reach that it quite has had and the response it's had.
They still back the version that we want to show enough that they are prepared to move the news, and that's a brilliant reflection on what has been delivered from everybody.
I'm not entirely sure I could have delivered something as good as maybe what I feel like I delivered on the day if it hadn't been for Lewis. And he told me not to say this.
And that's something I've started doing recently, is stripping the music, or we both have really, Lewis and I together, is stripping the music out from the weeklies as we do as I do my first editor's cut, and kind of building it back in.
Sean and Stephen made everyone so, just your mate on set. It's not that you forget who they are and you don't respect them. It's the fact that, they embrace you and they pull you in, they want you to do as well as possible, so you never doubt.
Hello, everyone.
We've been sharing your secrets.
Oh yeah, what secrets?
And it was genuinely real, emotive tears of just hurt and
despair. You went straight away.
There's something I need to confess that I don't think we've ever spoke about in all the press on this, and that is that Stephen